His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. I'm going to give you an example of that in about a minute. I just wanted to read Job, the 20th chapter, and I'll read from the 8th verse, and I'll read a couple of verses down, and then I'm going to show you this evidence of Esau's children seeking to please the poor, which are the Israelites, code for Israelites. Job 20 verse 8, he shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. It's talking about Esau. It doesn't have to mention Esau. We know it's talking about Esau. Yeah, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. That means that Esau will be totally done away with after they serve hardcore slavery. 9th verse. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. Now it says in Amos 9 and 12, it speaks about the tabernacle of David being reestablished, and that we shall possess Edom. And Edom in Amos, the 9th chapter, is referring to the land of Edom, because Edom will be spread out among the Israelites to serve as slaves, and then they will be done away with, pursuant to Obadiah 1 verse 18. So the land of Israel, I'll say, there will be a new patch of land added to the Israelites, which is the land of Edom, because they're going to eventually going to be done away with. 10th verse. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. And I'm going to show you the video. And now there's been talk for the last couple of years about restoration, reparation to the blacks of America, which are the Israelites. Now that's never going to happen, because Esau is in a 27, almost $28 trillion debt, but in reality it's more like a $200+ trillion debt, because you have future liabilities, you know, Medicaid, welfare, food stamps, these various programs. Money has to be put to the side to pay for it for the next 4 years until another president comes into power. So that's known as future liability. The money's already spent. That's why they came up with the Obamacare, to have people pay for it. And that's why they're creating money from thin air, which you will begin to experience inflation, which you experience right now. You notice in the last couple of weeks the gas prices have been slowly going up. Well, that's from inflation. And inflation, if it's not controlled, becomes hyperinflation, where prices skyrocket. They said the scripture speak about being impoverished, and the word poverty. Now they're saying that they're talking about And they've been talking about this for years, but this year they're planning on making the whole nation, giving them a raise in their minimum wage, which is $15, and they're saying that $15 is right about the poverty line. So if you're making $15 an hour, you're impoverished, according to ESO's studies. It says, 11 verse, his bones are full of the sin of his youth. That goes back to George Washington, Andrew Jackson, Abraham Lincoln, Christopher Columbus, Alexander the Greek, Antiochus Epiphanes, just to name a few. Nero Caesars and all the Edomite Caesars. Let me see if I can find this. Okay. This is an Edomite woman, and I believe this was on TikTok, how she can't stand her parents because they told her that George Floyd got what he deserved. So she's freaking out on it. So let's listen and I'll close.
I literally hate my family so much. It's just, they just try to argue with me that George Floyd they just try to tell me that, like, he deserved that because he did something wrong, and that it was okay. That is not okay. And it's just making me so upset. I don't know why. I do not want to live here. I hate living in Louisiana. I hate living around these racist. I just want to leave.
Okay, so let's go back to Job 20 verse 10. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. So now these younger Edomites, this generation of Edomites, they're suffering a guilt trip. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. With that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next one.